In a French kingdom, a self-centered prince lived in a lavish castle. An old beggar woman, Agathe, approached seeking shelter, offering him a rose. She revealed herself as an enchantress. The prince, lacking love, was transformed into a beast, and his subjects became household objects. The castle vanished from memory, leaving the beast isolated with a mystical mirror and a rose. To break the spell, he must find love before the last petal falls. In Villeneuve, Belle immersed herself in books, standing out among the townsfolk. Handsome yet conceited Gaston pursued her, but she rejected him gracefully. Returning home, Belle finds solace with her skilled music box-making father, Maurice. He crafts a music box resembling Belle's mother, and she confides in him about being perceived as peculiar. Maurice prepares to sell his creations in a neighboring town and Belle asks him to bring back a rose. On his journey, Maurice and Philippe encounter menacing wolves and seek refuge in the prince's castle. Inside, Lumiere and Cogsworth greet Maurice, and he meets Chip, a teacup. Maurice flees but finds a rose in the garden. The beast accuses him of theft and takes him captive. In the village, Belle teaches a young girl to read but faces disapproval from a man. Gaston persists in pursuing Belle and tries to dissuade her from helping others. Belle firmly rejects him and expresses her longing for adventure. Philippe returns, hinting at trouble befalling Maurice. Belle rides back to the castle and finds Maurice in the dungeon. She encounters the beast and offers herself in exchange for her father's freedom. The beast accepts, releasing Maurice, and Belle assures him she will find a way to escape. Inside the castle, Belle meets Lumiere, Cogsworth, Mrs. Potts, Chip, Plumette, Madame de Garderobe, and Maestro Cadenza, all transformed into household objects. Lumiere guides Belle out of the dungeon and into a chamber where Garderobe dresses her in a gown. Belle decides to use the gown's ribbons to escape the tower. In the village tavern, Maurice bursts in and shares the news of Belle's captivity, but the villagers dismiss him. Gaston sees this as an opportunity to win Belle and decides to exploit the situation. The beast impatiently pounds on Belle's bedroom door, but Belle remains focused on creating a rope with the ribbons. The beast storms off, triggering tremors that cause the castle objects to lose their human appearances. Belle is guided to the dining hall by the castle objects, where they perform a lively musical number. Curiosity leads Belle to the forbidden West Wing, where she discovers the enchanted rose. The beast confronts her with anger, and Belle flees on Philippe. In the forest, Belle encounters wolves and bravely fights them off. The beast joins the battle and defeats the wolves, but he collapses from his injuries. Belle helps him onto Philippe. Belle tends to the beast's wounds, gradually forming a bond of friendship. Mrs. Potts reveals that the beast's cruel nature stems from his upbringing and explains the significance of the rose. The enchanted objects express their longing for humanity through a heartfelt song, giving a glimpse of the young prince's past. In the forest, Gaston, Le Fou, and Maurice search for the castle. Gaston's true motives emerge as he threatens Maurice and leaves him bound to a tree, intending to let the wolves deal with him. Le Fou, conflicted, reluctantly follows Gaston's lead. Belle captivates the beast with her knowledge of Shakespeare, and he leads her to a magnificent library, offering it as her sanctuary. Over time, Belle discovers the beast's gentler side. They use an enchanted book to travel to Belle's childhood home in Paris, learning about her mother's tragic fate. Agathe rescues Maurice and tends to his injuries. Back in Villeneuve, Gaston and Le Fou confront Maurice, and Gaston manipulates the villagers to dismiss Maurice as a madman. In the grand ballroom, Belle and the beast share a magical dance, but Belle expresses her longing for freedom and her concern for her father. The beast, deeply in love with Belle, presents her with the magic mirror, allowing her to see Maurice in danger. Belle leaves to rescue her father, and the beast retreats to his tower, realizing his profound affection for her. The castle objects, aware of Belle's unrequited love, feel sadness as they understand that breaking the curse is unlikely. Gaston has Maurice confined to a sanatorium but offers him a chance to give his blessing for Gaston to marry Belle. Maurice refuses, and Belle arrives just in time, revealing the magic mirror to prove the beast's existence. The villagers, shocked and horrified, join Gaston in confronting the beast. Belle and Maurice find themselves locked in a carriage while Gaston leads the mob towards the castle. As the enchanted objects fight off the villagers, the chaos ensues in the castle. Lumiere, Mrs. Potts, Cadenza, Cogsworth, and Garderobe use their unique abilities to fend off the attackers. Le Fou, witnessing the battle and realizing the error of his ways, switches sides and helps Mrs. Potts. The villagers, overwhelmed by the resistance and the magical displays, eventually retreat in fear. Amidst the aftermath, Agathe appears at the castle. Her presence carries a mysterious aura, and her purpose in the unfolding events remains unclear. In the carriage, Belle reveals the glass rose to Maurice and shares her knowledge of her mother's fate. Maurice explains his desire to protect Belle, and she produces a pin to unlock the carriage. They escape, and Belle swiftly returns to the castle on Philippe. Meanwhile, Gaston finds the despondent beast in the tower and falsely claims Belle sent him. He shoots the beast, who falls onto a lower roof. Gaston pursues him, provoking the beast to fight back. Belle arrives at the castle with renewed determination. The beast defends himself, asserting his true identity. Holding Gaston over a ledge, the beast shows mercy but commands him to leave. The beast leaps to the next tower to reunite with Belle, only for Gaston to shoot him twice in the back. As the bridge crumbles, Gaston meets his demise, a result of karma's intervention. As the final petal falls, Belle rushes to the dying beast's side. The castle objects celebrate their victory over the villagers, but a bittersweet transformation begins. Plumette turns into a feather duster, Mrs. Potts becomes a teapot, and Chip is caught just in time as they both transform into lifeless objects. The wardrobe, her husband, and dog also succumb to inanimation. Lumiere and Cogsworth share a heartfelt moment before freezing in time. Belle declares her love for the beast. Agathe reveals herself and restores the rose, breaking the curse. The beast miraculously transforms into a human, and Belle and the prince share a tender kiss. The kingdom is freed from darkness, and everyone is restored. The castle objects return to their human forms, reuniting with their loved ones. The prince embraces his loyal friends with gratitude. A grand celebration ensues in the ballroom, uniting the castle inhabitants and the villagers in joyful revelry. Maurice, LeFou, and others join in the festivities. Belle and the prince take to the dance floor, their steps radiating newfound happiness. The air is filled with playful melodies as Garderobe and Mrs. Potts showcase their singing talents, accompanied by cadenzas enchanting music. Together, they embark on a journey towards their happily ever after. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up. And subscribe for more insightful movie analysis. Stay connected with us as we explore the fascinating world of cinema.